Greetings, and welcome to the Grindhouse. Admittedly, it's been a little while since I had last shown myself, review-wise. I'm still sort of recovering from this year's election. Anyway. With me, as always, a lot of the times, our little Grindhouse kitty Jasmine, who's purring very loudly in my ear. Hi, sweetie. And tonight, we are going to be looking at what some would call I guess one label I've heard being used before is RamboSploitation. And I didn't know that was possible. I mean, I'd heard of it, of course. There's supposedly a Turkish Rambo out on video somewhere. Anyway, tonight is Reb Brown. For those of you who are familiar with him, I really like his overacting. The guy does a lot of overacting, which isn't a bad thing. Hello, kitten. Which isn't a bad thing at all. If you've seen movies like Space Mutiny, or one of my favorites, Street Hunter, him and Steve James as two opponents at the end, he was great in terms of that overacting. In this one, he gets to do a Rambo-like film. A lot of it is pretty lifted. If you look at it closely, a lot of it's pretty lifted from Rambo First Blood Part 2. And I think it came out probably around the same year. Maybe a year after, I'm not sure. Wait a minute, hold on a moment. No. Get over here. No. Go. Anyway. Still here. Hello. Long story. Anyway, getting back to the film here. A lot of it is pretty lifted from Rambo First Blood Part 2. There is like the scene with like the boat, for example. The scene in Rambo First Blood Part 2 where Rambo nearly gets strangled by a guy and on top of the boat, and then he stabs him. That scene's pretty much somewhat in there. The only difference to that is you hear Reb Brown delivering the beginning of the Lord's Prayer just before he jumps ship, before it explodes, which I thought was kind of interesting. This movie is a little bit darker. There is some pretty... When you think about it, it's a little disturbing. For example, there is one other prisoner named Martin, who, in this one, he's pretty much killed. He's pretty much, in terms of, he goes through a lot of torture, basically. And he finally just dies. And they leave his corpse in the same area where Ransom, Reb Brown's character, Michael Ransom, is imprisoned, and they leave his corpse to fester. So that's a bit of a little gross when you think of it. There's a villain in this one named Dakota, who is kind of like, I guess he's kind of like the Khan character, with like William Shatner screaming Khan, but instead you've got Reb Brown screaming Dakota for some of the film. So it's kind of like that. Hello, Jasmine. In terms of, it's a pretty violent movie, which I don't mind, because of course it's an over-the-top grindhouse war film, pretty much. when you look at it, it's very, you know what you're getting with a Reb Brown film 9 times out of 10. Oh, and in case you don't know, Vincent Dawn is the director. For those of you that do or do not know, Vincent Dawn is the alias to one Bruno Mattei. And if you've ever seen Women's Camp 119, you know what you're in for with those type of films. So, Bruno Mattei did this one. Great director. I always liked him. I mean, he's got some pretty... I'm going to come out and say that's pretty fucked up, some of it. It's a heavy movie. But at the same time, there's also some dark humor and a little bit of light humor. There's also a scene with a young boy, Vietnamese boy, who befriends Ransom, and of course they had to go that route. They kill the kid, but you know, like I said, it's... Oh, and of course there's a remember how Murdoch was Charles Napier's character in Rambo 2? There's a Murdoch in this one too. He's a colonel. There's also a Colonel Troutman, but he's a major in this particular one. Yeah, so basically, of course, you know, in terms of, well, ow, Jasmine, settle. Come on, it's okay. Sit down. In terms of whether or not they, unlike the Rambo movie, they don't spare the Murdoch character in this one. But I think you probably would have already guessed that coming from a Bruno Mattei film. In any event, the movie is Strike Commando. It is very good in terms of... yeah, okay, maybe it's a bit RamboSploitation, but, you know, it's probably not the first, probably won't be the last. You can find it on DVD, usually under like a gift pack of like Grindhouse war films would probably be one of your best bets. On a scale of 1 to 10, in terms of story, 7 or 8. In terms of violence, 9, probably 10. It's pretty brutal. But it's, you know, it's over the top Grindhouse, so you do know what to expect. In any event, this has been the Grindhouse, and until next time, fare thee well.